What do you mean? How'd you get in the clubs? Or how do you get into the clubs?
Most airports. So there's many kinds of clubs. If you can get in through your credit card or with your miles. So United will have a club. If you're flying United, that on that trip, and you have a Visa or whatever, it's free.
Which card do you have that gets you in?
You have to have a certain card.
That's how they line up. Is some you got to put some energy in.
Yeah,
okay?
but you don't strike me as an energy kind of guy.
Some clubs are called the club or lay club. I'm not quite sure. And they're in various airports, and you can just pay. There's no fees or whatever. And they have extensive discounts. So if you use your American Express, it's free. If you have a AAA, it's
But I signed
$40.
up for an American Express card because of that one, and it doesn't work. It's not.
Well, whatever. The deals are complicated.
And I even went on Reddit, and there's a subreddit for it, and and everybody's like, okay, if your kid was born on an odd date on this day, and your social security number ends with 9, you can sign up during these weeks of the year. Then, if you clip coupons from Pep Boys and blah blah blah, bring it to this kiosk in this town during this weekend.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you will get access to this club.
I appreciate that, and I get it. But if I was going to go to the club, it's $50 to get in. Everything else I'm winning on my AAA discount or whatever. But it was $50. My sister and I and Jade went in there, and it's all you can eat, all you can drink, all you can drink.
Wait,
Bloody Marys, yeah.
That's why
All you can drink Coors.
Wasn't that American? Is that the Centurion Club? Century Club or Centurion?
There's many clubs.
Which club were you
called
in?
The club.
The club.
Yes.
Are you certain?
I'm certain.
$50 a person?
Yes. And there's showers, there's toilets, there's charging stations. There's even little nap rooms. There's computers you can use.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's a whole underworld.
Do you have
society.
to have a membership?
Not at the club. No.
Okay. All right.
Now I did get one. I got a United credit card. I got into the United one for free by just signing up for the credit card. And now every time I go, maybe it's $45 wherever there is a United suite.
Yeah.
Now that's all I know. Now Centurion Club.
That's American Express.
Yeah, I don't know. You just have to use the card a certain amount. There's many clubs, and they're all around us. And once you've discovered them, you don't want to go back to the peons in the food court.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like the peons. I like being ignored while I'm getting charged $25 for a breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, but I spent $100 on one round of drinks leaving for the airport. For $150, I  got unlimited drinks.
Right.
For my crew that was with me at that time. So
yeah, it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of questions.
Wait, who just did that? Bringing me right back, right? Bringing me right back to the awards.
Angel's laugh. So anyway.
All right. Well,
that's the kind of comedy that I think you appreciate, and why I really like you're part of our team. We're riffing, and we've created from our laughter and giggle. We actually create some absurdity that has lasting comical effect. Is that fair?
We're talking to someone off camera. Let's bring him in.
Oh, are we on? Is this thing we're going?
Yeah, we're going.
All right. Well,
let me introduce our podcast. Can we agree on a number that this podcast is?
I was just looking it up.
Not part of that decision.
69.
68.
This is the 68th podcast.
Yeah, the next one will be nice.
69. We should have it should be like a sexual theme.
Yeah. Just nice.
Before we get Brian on here, who is our producer of this show, part of our team, we'll get some FaceTime here in a second with him, because we all just went to Vegas. And that's what this is going to be. This is our Vegas summary.
Yeah, we went to Vegas. We didn't go to Vegas to gamble. We went to Vegas for the one Moto Show, and to hang out with Christian Sosa and Magic Mike and Tori and have a Vegas weekend that's motorcycle themed.
Yep, I got a couple questions that I want to break down Vegas. I'm jumping right in. Now, when I last talked to you, Warren, I said, "Hey, we're going to Vegas. What does that mean?" And you said, and I'm going to quote somewhat close. The Moto Show is having a show. They asked us to come along. We're going to go down and act a fool. Mission accomplished. Did we check that box?
A lot of that box is, yeah, the box is blacked out.
Scribbled outside the lines.
But now that you you've seen it, let me ask that question again to give anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about. We went to Vegas, and what does that mean? Minus the partying, give me just administratively, what does that mean?
It means that. Are you talking about how we kind of wove into
Just
the one show?
What was it?
Well, we had a booth at the one show. We invited 4 motorcycles to be part of our booth. We invited all of our friends, sold some merch, gave a trophy away, and kind of integrated ourselves into the whole Vegas experience with Tor and Tori and their team.
Mm-hmm. So pausing the partying, Scott, you know a little bit more history on this. What made this show so special that I don't think people appreciated? Go ahead. Let's start there.
All right. Well, because I kind of came into this late. I was gone when you guys had the initial meetings on this, so I kind of came into the whole theme of like, oh, we're going to Vegas, and I was like, what?
That's weird. You were uninformed. It's unusual.
Team comms were a little bit. Anyway, so so I'm gonna retroactively explain what it was about.
Yes.
The AIM Expo is an industry trade show. That's huge for everyone who's in the motorcycle, ATV, motorsport space. I wasn't really that aware of it, but it's a huge thing for the people that we work with, and so it was great to go to that and see what that world is like. Sort of like the Parts Unlimited thing that they do in Milwaukee.
Yeah, B2B is the idea there.
Yeah. So we got to go around and see a bunch of our sponsors and, touch base with them and see some people that we just know from the world. And so that was great. We were supposed to do that Wednesday and Thursday, but our flights ended up getting messed up on Wednesday, so we didn't get until late.
Yeah.
But we got to do it on Thursday, and that was really awesome. And that's why, because of the AIM Expo, I think is the reason that the first Las Vegas One Moto Show happened.
Yeah,
right?
shout out to Cinnamon and the AIM team for getting us knuckleheads in there.
Yeah,
as
that
guests.
was awesome.
Yeah, it's very nice.
So you had a Mama Tried booth at the AIM?
No, we were just guests to come in and say hi, walk around, be a part of it.
Do people know who you are?
Some do.
Okay. Well, good.
A lot don't.
I think that, if we could just talk about that for a second, my observations are as a newbie, because I'm not in retail or in the motorsports like retail world, but that world must be difficult for anyone to negotiate any kind of retail player because there's so many different spaces, right? There's the road cruiser space if you're just talking about motorcycles, but now motorcycles are like hybrids, electric.
Yeah.
They're all the way from like minis with the little wheels to scooters to bicycle. Like, is it a scooter? Is it a motorcycle or a bicycle? It's hard to tell. And then all the different support like components that go with that.
Yeah, all the aftermarket and whatnot.
Yeah. And then the side-by-side world and, one thing that was really cool that opened my eyes was like the international part of it, like how many Asian, Pakistani, Indian, Chinese,
mini brands.
Yeah, mini brands and manufacturers of apparel, like, hey, we can make you these gloves, we can make you these jackets, we can make you. I thought that was pretty cool. So that's coming from a total newbie, right?
Tell me about the size and scale of this AIM show.
It's big.
It's
huge. It's like it's probably like the State Fair Park with all the rooms open.
100 vendors, 200 vendors. I mean, give me some empirical
1,000
data.
vendors?
1,000 vendors.
1,500 vendors.
Something that takes you a week to go through, or a couple days.
Well, those halls are acres long.
It might be 500.
City blocks long, and some of them are really big and some are really small.
Mm-hmm.
But there's aisles and aisles and aisles and aisles.
Yeah,
it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah, if you were to do the whole thing and stop at every booth, it would take you a while, a few days.
I always want to put forth a hypothesis, an hypotenuse. Is that a word?
No.
Okay.
I see what you're trying to do there, but I don't think it really applies. But yeah, let's keep going.
I don't want to be too didactic or too philosophical. I want to just gloss over this one little point. Just before we had left for Vegas, I don't know if you know that Harley-Davidson announced a major loss fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, how can this industry still have this kind of party? And you told me it's still a vibrant thing. Here's my hypothesis. You talked about the birth of the expansion. I think we're in such a time of transition right now. We just don't know what's going to stick in the next 5, 6, 10 years.
Yeah.
Were you there for the award ceremony where the AIM guys talked?
No.
But one of the big things that I think he said was like the OEMs don't drive the industry anymore. It's all everyone else, which I thought was cool.
It's all the secondary and tertiary players.
You gave me a very great nugget to chew on and challenged my hypothesis.
That's
Great, I
meaning
wish I
you're
could
not
have seen
going to
that.
say your hypothesis.
Well, I guess it really wasn't a hypothesis. The point was it just struck me. I couldn't get over the industry without seeing it through the parameter of this major loss, which I read in a Milwaukee newspaper, so it hit different.
Mm-hmm.
Does this make sense? I'm not trying to be too didactic, but the point is the industry is strong.
Yep.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Seems like it. I mean, how do you tell besides like what's in front of your face or how you feel?
Be interesting to have someone from that world on the podcast who could give us some insights into what's happening.
Sure. Well, they had this AIM show, which to me was massive,
Yeah.
and a big deal in Vegas.
Yeah. It would have been cool to go to some of those workshops.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of spaced looking at that schedule before we got there, and then I was like, dang, I could have
Yeah.
gone to some of those. That would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have been nice to maybe have some self-control too the night before.
Yeah.
That's not our strong suit, right? We got to acknowledge our strengths, and
We need to just stay away from Pat Patterson is what we need to do.
okay, that's a bold statement, and it could be slander, but there's many Pat Pattersons
Pat
in our
would,
world.
if Pat would,
in our
if
world.
Pat was here, he'd be like,
What we do
I think
with
you
this
guys
guy.
do.
We are surrounded by Pats.
Yeah. That's
Is that fair?
That's very true.
Yeah.
And I prepared our team, so I'm putting a bow on the AIM. I appreciate the size and scale, and why it was there. Let's focus on the one show, but I want to say when we took our crew down there, because we put basically an open invite. If you flat out Friday team, fan, whatever, meet us in Vegas, and everyone that I flew down with, I had to pull them aside and just like, hey, I wanted you to know we have a group of misfits. And everybody on our group is a certified kook. Is that a word?
That's true.
Everybody is goofy.
And we have a pretty big team when you bring the whole team. It's quite
Yeah.
it's a big
It's a thing.
yeah.
There is many shades of goofy.
Yeah.
I unplugged that one,
Oh, yeah,
Brian.
plug that one in.
Yeah, here. You should be ready to go.
And so Pat Patterson isn't that unusual. Okay, Brian, we started this show by saying, hey, what's your
Hey everybody,
perspective?
this is Brian.
Hello,
Brian's that
hi.
produces the show. If you haven't met
Brian.
it, Geared Science.
Brian
Check,
Mann
check.
from Geared Science.
There we go.
You ever been over here before?
A couple times. But
Really?
yeah, but the Christopher was like, he sent me an email. It's like, you should just have a mic because I'm going to interject. I have things to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have
Which
things to
Christopher?
Stratman.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
He says notes from the booth, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
So shout out
He's
to
our
Chris.
way background
Yeah.
producer.
I don't think I've met him in person yet.
Platformer.
I
Yeah.
don't think he might be an AI for all I know.
Yeah. No, he's real. I met him.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Same.
He's a homebody.
Okay.
But he's great.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, super awesome.
You,
Smart guy.
You, Brian, have a specific insight because you worked.
Yes.
Yeah, you were there from the beginning, the setup.
Yeah.
And just one thing I tried to set you up, Scott, with earlier, and I missed the question, or I missed what I was looking for. Setting up the one show was something that I thought to be very impressive in itself. Not the show and the minutia of the motorcycles and making the merch and all of that, but actually building the space.
Right.
Something that you guys are familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really impressed by that too.
In the early Mama Trides, we're having to put in working escape exit signs,
Yeah.
working hot water in the bathrooms.
Yeah.
Did you see the picture they posted? It might not have been today, but I saw
today,
it.
yes.
It's like a picture of the interior stairwell that would
Yeah.
go to the second floor.
My biggest
Really?
regret was not exploring that building because there was probably some other shit going on in there.
Yeah.
There's a
With the
hotel
bird flu.
upstairs.
Oh, really? That bad?
Yeah.
Really?
And I can imagine that the whole place was like that, and they got that place big and span.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The teams that were running the bathrooms are on point.
Dude, it was clean.
It was
Yeah.
really nice, and
Yeah.
and even just the vibe, you know, from taking this carpeted, kind of really nicely drop ceilinged, you know, almost like an office space.
Yeah,
And
it
making
was square.
it into, because when I first heard that it was in an old casino, I thought, oh, cool.
Yeah.
It'll be weird. And
The outside of the
crusty.
building was
weird and
rad,
crusty.
but then you walked in, it was like it went through a renovation
they
in
did something
early
to
2000s.
Yeah.
Put a call center in there or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they said that they wanted to do the show originally at the Downtowner where we stayed.
Yeah.
And they wanted to put all the bikes in like different rooms, like make the rooms like each bike had its own display room.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, not
And
a bad
then-
idea.
Yeah, sounds cool, but I think it was too more work than it was worth. And then they said they wanted to go see that building, and they didn't even want to show it to them. Like, I didn't want that.
But who's they? You know what I mean?
So the people that own the Downtowner also own the Western Hotel,
Okay.
or whatever that was.
Got it.
And they said Tori and their team wanted to go see that building, and they're like, you don't want to see that.
Yeah.
It's all
Really?
run down and crummy. Like, that sounds perfect.
Really?
Yes, that's how they got in there.
Because I can't imagine someone that's not within the community. Why would they would ever open their doors to an idea like this?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine, Warren, if someone's like, "Hey, I want to have a vacuum cleaner show in your space."
Sure.
Actually, it's a bad example because you're like that, but you understand what I'm saying. How you have to really sell this idea, and how they would have been scratching their heads, like, "You're going to do what? Put old motorcycles in this crappy, gross building?"
Well, and I think also they don't know who, right? They don't know who Tor and Tori were, and like they didn't know if it was going to be like, oh, it's a motorcycle show, but then it's a rave, you know,
right.
or like a graffiti festival, and the whole place gets destroyed. Like they don't know.
It seemed like they didn't really care too much about anything getting broken. But my thing is, hopefully, they're trying to sell that building. But what if they could be like the Halloween Express to their Kmart? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe they can come in once a year and
Yeah,
make some of that lost revenue back.
yeah.
Or they're going to move into that other building with the big high-heeled shoe that was right there in the corner.
Oh, yeah, that looked cool.
That was cool.
Yeah. I wonder if they own that one too. Maybe it was quite a bit smaller, I'd imagine.
It's a neat area where they were with the whole Zappos, that little background story of like the Zappos guy putting in a bunch of money. Did you guys hear
Explain
that story?
What was that about?
So the guy who evidently, and I don't know the details, but the guy who started Zappos was a tech guy,
Yeah.
made a bunch of money starting Zappos.
It's right
a
there.
huge shoe thing.
Zappa, we drove past it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he started buying up all that area, all the stuff in that area, and just putting a lot of money into getting with the city, and you know, getting, obviously all the streets and sidewalks have been redone, all the lights.
It's really
all the-
unique
Yeah,
and
like
cool.
kind of, I probably kickstarting making businesses, you know, helping businesses get started there. Maybe that container park, I'm assuming, and
That was cool.
where that mothership coffee shop,
Yeah.
you know, like I feel like those things probably wouldn't organically have grown on their own, just because infrastructural wise, or like, you know, it would have been tough to do because it's a kind of a rough area, you know.
I don't know a ton about Vegas aside from like the stuff that everyone knows, but like that area seemed kind of cool, and everyone's comments about it, like, oh, it used to be so shitty, and now it's, you know,
Yeah.
it's shitty in a fun way now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a different Vegas that I'm used to. You know, the Strip is what I've known, and I don't like Vegas because of that. But hanging out there was like, I can tolerate that. You know, you have some autonomy. You don't have to get bossed around by the casinos. You know, have to wander through them everywhere.
You like the ability. I'm trying to fill in your words, and so correct me where I'm wrong. Where you can go outside and get a change of scenery fairly easily.
Yeah.
You're not trapped inside of Caesar's Palace.
Yes.
Right.
Where literally is a 15-minute walk to the street.
Right.
Right.
And then even then, are you really even outside?
Yeah, you're not. You're not. Absolutely not.
Where the freedom was, you go to bar to taco place.
And there's a shitload of bars and restaurants, and they're all awesome. I didn't eat
Mm-hmm.
or drink anything bad.
No. Could have done so much more. Like
Yeah.
we were talking about that El Cortez place. I kept walking past it going like, we should let's get dinner there.
We went there and played a bunch of roulette. Leah was like super into it. She loves roulette. We wound up in there playing roulette for a few hours.
Really?
Dude, that place is fun.
I
Nice.
played blackjack with Pat Patterson with his own money. It was pretty awesome.
It's funny.
Like, Dad, I need more money.
Yeah. Dude, Pat was on one too. He's like, anything the book says, I was doing the opposite. I was staying on 8. He came up, I guess. I don't know.
Well, that little segment there we can give to the Visit Las Vegas.
Yeah, they can have
Commission.
it. The downtown.
Yeah.
Go to the other stuff.
Yeah. We're a big fan. And the show was really great. The bikes were great. They curated the space and made it really feel like a motorcycle show.
Yeah.
With the lights and the sound and the bar and the way the bikes were displayed, and a really good cross section of like vendors and different kinds of motorcycles, which Tori I think are really good at curating.
The watching them all load in. So I did builder portraits. I took a photo of I think most of the bikes got there. So like 80, 89 bikes out of the 110 that were there. They showed up on yeah.
There was 110 there.
There was 112 registered bikes, and I think like 105 showed up or something like that.
Wow.
So, but they had a lot of crazy stuff in there. But it was cool, all the different ones coming in. You know, there's the kid with that purple mini bike. There was choppers. I know Shannon from Counts Customs had 2 big old choppers there. And then
there was a Skeeter Todd like FXR build. Did you see that one?
Mm-hmm.
That thing ruled.
Dude, that one guy had that fucking that Road King,
great.
that giant performance Road King.
Yeah,
I don't know. It looked like an FXR that someone overinflated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff there. A lot of cool British and off-road stuff and deserty stuff.
Yeah.
We'll share a little bit more about your perspective. You worked it, so
yeah. So I was like working on with their team doing photos and stuff too, which is really cool to like, you know, maybe next year I'll get a denim jacket. They all have matching Dickies jackets with their names on them, which is a good look, you know. Because if you don't know their name too, you can just be like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know, they're a well-oiled machine too. It was cool just to watch, to like be kind of like part of what they were doing.
Yeah.
You know, and like everyone looks like just the right amount of stressed. You know what I mean? I think they like share it more. You know?
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you say is a small critique of our team.
Well,
so let me zoom in a little bit.
I think a few of us wear holes in this concrete, and some of us don't wear enough holes in the concrete.
So stress isn't evenly dispersed.
That's well,
Okay.
but I think
Well, you described them as a well-oiled machine, as if that was not assumed. Are we not a well-oiled machine?
well, we are a machine.
We're a winkle.
Yeah, we're a machine, and it works, and it gets you there.
We're like one of Warren's knuckleheads. It's well-oiled.
You got to know how to operate it.
Yeah, exactly. So you get it. I was talking to Scott about this, but during the awards ceremony, Bert, I wish Tor could have been there, but Bert was on mic. Tor wasn't there.
I like Bert. I'm a fan of Bert.
Bert was talking about how they've been doing the show for 15 years, and he's like, that seems like an awful long time to do something that almost kills you every single year.
We all felt that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Dude.
Well, but I'm gonna go in a little bit of his psyche. He's probably bored on the Portland One Show. Not bored on it, but he's searching internally for some more craziness. That's why he even got involved with Vegas. Does this make sense?
Well,
there's something in all of us of why we beat our heads with a brick.
Yeah. Well, and some of the stuff that some guys were saying, like industry dudes were talking about, like coattailing the AIM Expo like that, I think was really cool because, like, you know, I didn't get a chance to go over there, but I can imagine what it was. I saw pictures. I imagine it was a big convention hall with a bunch of booths. Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right.
Which is great, but everyone's trying to sell you something, which is great. That's what you're there for. But to then go to like over to that, you know, the bike show to see all that stuff like in play. You know what I mean? Like I sell parts for bikes, and here's a guy that used it on this really cool build.
Right.
You know, so that I think there's an opportunity there to keep doing it.
Absolutely.
Yep. Shows overlap.
And I think the VIP party on Thursday night, to see all the people that were at the trade show at that party cutting loose was great. You know, end of the last night of the show, people just really getting fucked up and
I assumed there'd be all types of that stuff in Vegas. I thought they'd have like chopper shows, like, you know, I thought there'd be one, but everyone, even a bunch of the locals were like, "This is cool. We don't have anything like this."
It seemed like turnout was really good, especially Sunday.
Yeah.
Or I mean Saturday.
Yeah.
And seeing the local folks, you know, the Magic Mikes and the Sosas,
Dude,
you know, taking ownership and getting after it.
Yeah.
You know, both those guys really, really stepped up and took care of us, and you know, showed out, and I think it was great.
Yeah.
You know, and I shouldn't say just us, but like, you know, the whole place. They were honored to have everybody in their town, city.
Those trophies that Sosa made were insane.
Mm-hmm.
They're so beautiful.
It was wild.
Yeah.
But
Guy's so talented.
All right. Do we feel like we described the One Show Vegas fairly and properly? We've articulated our time, because that's an important part. That's why we were there. There's nothing but love for everything we saw. But that's not where we really spent a lot of our time, or most of our time. Is that fair to say? Yeah. That we did a little.
all my time was there, but yeah.
Well,
I spent a good bit of time over there.
You're hanging out pretty hard.
well, there were some other things that Vegas had to offer.
Yeah. A couple.
Does anybody want to confess anything, or should we just not say anything and let the lure live on?
The travel council says you're supposed to not.
Is there a highlight that someone would like to share?
There's some PG stuff that I could share.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I went to the Sphere.
Oh, you
Oh,
did?
yeah.
That was really cool.
Oh,
Did you
They
do
had
the
like
tour
a-
thing?
No, they have like you buy tickets. It's like buying tickets to a concert, but they have Darren Aronofsky is a big time like artsy director, and he did a film just for that space, sort of like an IMAX kind of film. You know, it's very landscapey and just like shock and awe, like beautiful, you know, and just to see it inside that space was pretty great.
You're in the dome for this.
You're in it. You buy a ticket just like a concert.
Wow.
And you have to pick your seats. It's through Ticketmaster, and it's spendy, but it's cool.
Oh, it's seated.
Yeah, it's seated. Yeah,
That is cool.
yeah.
You have a good crowd in there?
5,000 people.
Do they do like a Pink
Whoa.
Floyd laser light show kind of thing?
No, it's just this film, but it's pretty. I mean, it's
Designed
it's
to
incredible.
show off the.
It's incredible.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's great. I can't even imagine seeing a concert with that,
Yeah.
because they must have subs underneath
Uh-huh.
every seat, so you feel the sound, and it's a very intense experience. I mean, like after you get out of there, for a while it was like it's kind of like almost overload. Like this needs to quiet down and stop a little bit. You know, like it's a lot.
Like
It's
getting
a
off
lot.
a trampoline.
Yeah, yeah. So that was cool.
Let me, before we pass the mic, can you just tell me or share, and give us loose details of a moment, a minute, a time that was where you were giggling and laughing the most? No?
I honestly don't remember a lot of it.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't mean that disrespectfully. I had a lot of fun, but the whole way home yesterday when we were flying back, Meg would be like, "Do you remember when we blah blah blah?" And I was like, "We did." Remember when we saw so and so? And I was like, "They were there." There's a lot of that. A lot of that.
Well, it's good. You were always meeting new people.
Yeah. my last night there, me and Kevin wound up hanging out pretty hard, and I think the whole night we were both just like I don't think I stopped laughing the whole night. I did all my core workout in with that dude.
Nice.
I remember we were leaving Cornish Pasty, that place.
I never made it there.
Oh, it was
I
great.
mean, not
Was
that I
it
know
just
of.
a bar? It's just a dive bar?
It was a bar with a restaurant.
Big.
It's huge.
Really big.
And it's
Pool
served
tables.
Cornish pasties?
I saw it, so they tell me. But we got there and then we left, and then we're in an Uber, and we have 6 Ubers, and then 6 people can fit in like the big Uber, and then some random dude from the show, I think, I don't know his name, Chris was his name if you're out there. He's like, where are you guys going? I'm like, I'll stay at the Cortez. I'm like, well, we could probably fit one more in here. And were you there when we tried to get Frazier in the back? No, you weren't. There was we had 7 people try to get in a 6-person minivan, and he jumped in the trunk, and the driver wouldn't move. Frazier's in the trunk, and someone's like, "Is the luggage okay?" And Frazier's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Is there someone in the trunk?" "No, I'm not moving." Okay. Well. Anyway, so this guy jumps in, and then we wind up going back, and then me and Kevin talked, I think, for like 45 minutes about him having an avocado in his backpack that he planned to eat, and I was like, "What's your plan?" He's like, "You guys have an avocado? You can eat it like an apple?" He had no knife, no bread, no plan. So we talked about that.
Well-oiled machine.
Yeah, we talked about an avocado for
like
45 minutes, and I don't think I've laughed so hard.
Well,
in
so
my
that's
life.
your highlight. You're putting that down.
Yeah, I think hanging out with Kevin the last night was my highlight. I think.
Okay, all right.
David,
Well,
Kevin, Adam.
As you were working, it was something you want to share about working.
Oh yeah, so they do a lot of like. What's cool, I think, about their show too is like again the diversity of the bikes they bring is really
But
cool.
I want you to give me something specific.
Well, hold on, I'm getting there.
Okay, there's enough preamble, but let's go.
Okay, well the bikes is cool, the way they run is cool, the people are cool, but like I think it was I think the show they put on is kind of cool too. Like the little activities they do outside is something different to go out. But man, my highlight I think was just really talking. Every builder was stoked about their bike. It was really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I had to pick one major highlight, I guess it'll be like because having Magic Mike's set up like right next to ours was really cool because like that dude's great. I love hanging out with him. And,
Yeah.
and seeing him like he talking about his bikes to random. He like gave everyone the time of day.
Yeah.
He's a humble dude.
Dude, and like not only that,
So
but he's got
great.
these really cool bikes, but like every, weirdo is going up and asking him about like, was that thing hurt your back? You know what I mean? But you're not riding that thing far. And he just was like super cool about it. You know what I mean? Like most people, I think you're like, oh, you get annoyed about it. He's every single question someone had about any one of his bikes, he was there to answer. It.
I had so much fun hanging out in that area that I totally failed to take pictures of any of those bikes.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer because I love.
I took one picture, and it was with who's that guy that showed up and stood on the table in weird sunglasses and leisure suit? What's that dude's name?
Oh, Lee Rothman.
Yeah, me and Lee.
I think his name was Gene that showed up.
Me and Gene.
You took a picture with him, or
That's the only one selfie
really?
with Gene.
I don't, he doesn't. He didn't tell me
Had
that.
the cigarette inside
You
there.
didn't tell me
Yeah.
anything about that.
Yeah.
That cigarette bit is very good.
The bowling pin salesman from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Well, Warren, tell me some highlights
I had the best cheeseburger of my life,
Really?
the best
Was that
breakfast
the
sandwich
smash
of my
burger?
life. Yeah,
Was that smash burger?
Yeah.
I still.
I
think
had
about
like
that.
I was
Where
like
was this from?
I was like I want to go get another one.
When the fuck did we get ice cream? When was there? Where
At
was
the
It's
Hammerhead
called like tune in
hard
burger.
hats, hard
Hard
hats,
hats.
and
Yeah,
then
tune in burger.
Yes, yes.
Is that
We-
right?
yeah, you got a beer. You got
Yeah,
a beer
yeah,
there.
that was hard hats. Yeah.
You didn't eat there.
No.
No.
Whew.
You went there before we
Yeah.
went
I
with
had
Mike
tater
that
tots.
night. On the
And then I
last
talked
night.
Mike into taking us back.
That's awesome. It smelled so good.
Oh my god,
That was your highlight though. That
the
minute
food.
there?
No, I don't know. Highlight.
about
There
the-
was
what
highlights
about-
are hard.
What about that breakfast sandwich?
My favorite
Talk about
breakfast
that.
sandwich
Talk about
ever.
that.
It was 2 honey buns with an egg that was a scrambled egg, but left on the griddle too long, so it was a little crispy, and then the bacon was as crispy as you can get it.
Mhm.
It was amazing.
And the
a
honey
sandwich.
buns are like kind of mushed.
Nope,
Or
it's
they
just warmed
just
up.
warm.
Yeah, they're like the
Sticky?
mini honey buns.
They were like honey buns.
no,
or
they were honey buns. Yeah,
Good bit.
yeah, yeah. It was really nice. I went there again too. Hit that place twice, but I really like just chit chatting with everybody.
Mhm.
You know, it's nice to catch up. It's nice to continue.
Mhm.
It's nice to try to steer Fraser and Scrapper's energy, and try to follow along.
Mhm.
We went. Ian, Scrapper, and Fraser and I went to the spa, which was cool.
Yeah.
We did some sauna and some cold plunge. I don't know. We did a lot. I hadn't seen 6 a.m. in a while. Did that.
Mhm. It's fun.
Yeah. Did some gambling. Hanging out with Pat Patterson is always a pleasure because
It
it's,
is.
you know what you're going for, and stepping into it, it's going to hurt, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. You just get after it and
Mhm.
follow right along.
Second, Pat was one of my highlights of the trip too. Having him around was awesome. Like that first morning we get there, and I'm about to go. Like after taking photos the first day on Thursday, setting up, got my backpack on and going down there. I'm like 8:00. I'm feeling good. Pat set the bar still.
Hadn't
He's like-
went to bed yet.
He's like, we're doing car bombs. I'm like, dude, I gotta go to work for a little bit. So he's like, all right, Jaeger bomb then. Okay, keep it reasonable. I'm like, all right. And then he's like, well, we're gonna go get breakfast. I'm like, okay, I can probably work there too. So then we go to the Pepper Mill.
Yeah.
Heather convinced to go to Pepper Mill.
It's a great space.
I didn't
Yeah.
make the
Awesome.
peppermill. I bummed.
Peppermill is so cool.
The little bar we went into the back, and Party Heather was there, so that was cool.
Party Heather was the only party. The only Heather I saw.
I don't know if regular Heather was there.
Oh,
I don't think she
no.
went on that trip.
Shit, Heather didn't make it, but Party Heather was there the whole time.
Well, let me say this, that I realize my question is kind of dumb. Tell me a highlight, and I realize that, but I want to say that I had the best time seeing how everybody in any combination was having a great time. Every time you have 2 catalysts,
Yeah.
it would spark this smoke of fun.
Anybody
in our
seeing
crew.
everybody's like schedules too. Everybody, it kind of like overlapped where there was like a 24-hour, if you wanted
Yes.
something to do,
You could
there was
take-
somebody out doing something.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
And that from being a teacher, and I run a hockey league and a bicycle race. There's always drama.
Yeah.
Bill hates Susie because of whatever, and then there's always camps. There just wasn't a camp, and I really liked how we could just pull any person out of any tray and work together.
Yeah.
There's no complaining. I'm so proud of that. I guess I don't know if we're responsible. I think we are somewhat responsible for setting a tone for what you expect when you hang with us. We're drama free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. There's no need for that.
Yeah.
All right.
And the list of people that I knew were coming got longer when we got there. I didn't expect to see Kevin at all.
Yeah.
Right, Jerry.
Jerry.
you
Well,
know,
yeah, Jerry came, which was great, and then I didn't know Ian was coming,
right.
so that was cool. Who else? I don't know.
But all the ladies that showed up.
All
Yeah,
the
no,
Fun Friday
Heather's
ladies.
team.
Yep.
I didn't. Heather kept talking about Gary. I'm like, who the fuck is Gary?
Greg.
Who the fuck is Greg? I didn't know who Greg was until the last day.
There was a Greg on
Greg
the
was
trip.
there.
There was a Greg.
Yeah, Lala's friend. He owns.
Oh, yeah, I
he
met
owns
Greg.
a bodega right up the street here,
Oh, really?
and he's a big into real nice Black Road Kings.
He rolls. I
I-
chatted
I-
with him a lot.
I regret I didn't get to hang out with him more. I didn't see Lala as much as I would have liked.
He was the Lala handler.
Oh, good. Right.
Yeah, we need a handler.
needed one.
handler.
He was like, man, that guy's a pain in the ass. A lot of questions. Too many questions.
A lot of questions.
A lot of questions. Hold on. We'll get it. Oh, that's Angela.
Yes, a lot of questions Lala
We'll
has.
get the soundboard dialed in soon.
Lalo rules. I like that dude. I just watch him from afar and just the way that he converses with people, like you were saying the other day, is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The way he works the room.
Yeah.
With his, he has such a childish innocence about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to have him back on here when he's not so nervous.
I know. I think that's a funny thing about Lala, right? I think he thinks he's shy.
Finish
I
his
think
theory.
I think he considers himself a shy person, but he's actually very outgoing.
Very outgoing.
We're so curious about humans and why did you do that? What is that? Where are you from?
Yeah.
And he has a sexiness about him, like a flirtation sexiness that's
Not
different
creepy.
than most. It's not creepy. That's right.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you're sexy and I'm good looking too, but it's not pragmatic. Is that right?
Yeah. Or no, just like it's just not aggressive or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. You just one final thing on this. I think I'm gonna summarize the one show. This is how I want you to, if you could highlight this.
Yeah.
Or when you title this,
Yeah.
we're summarizing the one show Vegas.
Yeah.
I would like to break away and then summarize what's coming up. We have an event coming up. Do you guys know this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Before I get into that step, you said that you think the one show will be annual. Did you say that on accident, or do you think it'll be annual, or is this?
Yeah, I think there's always, that's the goal, is to be annual, right? When the dust settles and the checks are written, it's a kind of a deciding factor as well. So who knows? We'll
I
see.
think the turnout was really good.
Yeah, I mean, I was
feel like
surprised.
there was a lot of people there.
Well, you know this from running events. There could be a lot of people there. Maybe nobody paid.
Maybe not enough,
right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think that, like, for how this year went, the response and everything, they'd have to do at least again. You know what I mean? At least one more time.
Take one more swing at it.
Sure,
Yeah.
but again, you don't know the black and the red.
Well,
Right.
sure. I don't know. Yeah. Well,
You also don't know if the Western's going to get sold either, or there's lots of details in there.
But they
that
found
change.
that place just had going there and figuring out.
And I was wondering too, are they collecting commission on the alcohol too, or if that was their rent? And I don't care the answer, but I think those are major determinations whether it happens again.
Yeah.
We know this from running events.
Well, yeah, and if they sell, I mean, the thing is, like, just my perspective, and this is all just my outside look. That building, they said, hadn't had an event in like 12 or 13 years or something. And then the day we were doing the first setup, and by we I mean they I was doing the photos, okay? They rolled in, but there's guys a guy walked in with a water heater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
they had to fix the water like 6 or 8 times.
yeah, and there
water.
was just dudes in yellow shirts fixing, like, fire escapes, fire stuff.
Exit signs.
Yeah, so but that building got up to code for events for this. So I'm assuming maybe this one event will resurrect it in some way.
Sure,
Yeah.
bring some business
Make
in
it
for them.
make it into an event space.
Yeah, because now the next guy that goes there they don't have to do all this stuff. Because I'm sure the major hurdle to getting them to do anything there in the past has been like, oh, we got to put no water heater in.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And so if it is annual, we would highly recommend going.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's a great.
Don't
time.
let it deter you from coming to Milwaukee,
Yeah,
but we highly would recommend going to see the show in Vegas.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about how great it was to see some sunshine and warm temperatures.
Yeah.
Walk around in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Dude.
To me, that is the best part of Vegas, is that dry air and the palm trees
And
Yes.
the chapstick.
and the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
But I do not want to criticize our weather here in Milwaukee, because it's going to be cold actually next week.
20s.
Yep. For many people,
pretty good,
that's
though.
really cold.
Yeah.
And I feel as though
For us, that's pretty good.
our experience, our show, I think that's actually kind of important. And when it is warm, like it's randomly in the 50s, I think it distracts from what we're trying to curate.
I think it's like that level of mystery that helps. Good, hot or cold, you never know what's going to happen from year to year. And I think that it's been talked about a lot through the years. And
What's been
that's
talked about a lot?
the weather, the way that the weather changes, and oh, do you remember the time it was 70?
Yeah.
Remember the time it was negative 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Remember the
That
time
is-
you showed up on a snowmobile?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a fun story too. Just like it's very Midwest. Like, how's the weather?
They don't ask that in Vegas.
They're like
It's the same.
It's always the same. But there's like they've had the same show basically the same weekend, and I remember the 70-degree year where everyone rode to everywhere, and then like the same weekend, a year, maybe 2 years later, there were snowmobiles and knee-high snow everywhere. And,
Yeah, I met Christian Sosa on my snowmobile.
Yes, that'll do
That's
it.
right. That's right.
Well, I don't want to I don't want that weather to be an issue. I'm telling you, it's going to be cold, and that's part of the experience.
Absolutely.
Bring a jacket.
Bring a
Bring a
jacket.
jacket.
Because when you're in a bar and the windows are steamy,
Yeah.
that to me is there's just a magicness to it where you're almost creating a sauna, misty, steamy atmosphere inside a dive bar.
Right.
And the windows are dripping with water.
And you're never outside for too long anyway. So.
No, and to be honest and blunt about it is if you care about the weather and that's going to make your decision, stay home.
Right.
Bold statements.
Right.
But buy a ticket online.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah, decide on the day.
Buy a raffle ticket for the giveaway bike.
that's
Ship
fine.
it to you.
Brian, we have you on here. Did you say everything you wanted to say? Do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good.
Let me. Oh, go ahead.
One show every year. Let's do it. We're one show, Mama Try it. 100 years.
Now that we have you on this side of the camera, what's this podcast all about? Why are you involved in this podcast at all?
Jeez, I wasn't prepared for that. I remember when you guys were doing this before. There was the one that had long since died. It was like
Brap Yap?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's do that. Why don't we do that anymore? And he was like, it's a whole thing. You know what I mean? Well, great. Let's do that thing. So I don't know. I like doing it. It's a fun way to cut stuff up, and I think I think throughout the year sometimes we get a little carried away with not doing it. The summer's hard, but it's cool to like have that thing that we're doing. It's like when you have karate practice. You're going there at that time, and that's what you're doing. That's the thing you're doing today. So
Yeah.
I like it. We can all in the meetings we have afterwards are always very helpful because we can know what we're.
Well, I think that we genuinely all enjoy getting together regardless.
Yeah.
And I personally really enjoy that time that we all get to spend together. So it's fun to record it too sometimes. So.
Yeah. And there's very little about the show most of the time, which is cool.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Are we winning? Is this thing winning?
I think we're winning. I don't have it queued up.
Well, but why do you think this is winning?
The thing is about podcasts is weird because like whether your numbers are high or low on like your actual whole body podcast, when you pull the little sections out of it and you post those, I think those are really fun.
Yeah.
Just a little snippets you get out of people because it's a whole thing. Once you get the first 10 minutes out of the way, I think there's a lot of fun stuff.
Have we evolved as podcasters?
I think so. Yeah. You get your notebook's almost empty or full rather. We
You're
got
getting
more
it.
things. They were
More and
concise.
soon, less food noises.
Yeah. Well,
That's improved. We're swearing less.
Trying to watch my
Are we?
language.
yeah. See, I think we're all
Still
getting better
not.
as people.
I mean, rated. The F word is
We're
PG now.
We're okay with it. Yeah.
Oh, I had a great question and I lost it.
Well, it's a good place to end. You need to start your recap, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to start a recap. But hang on, what was this question? Oh, here was my question,
Yeah.
and it's so obvious now that I remembered it. Are we interesting? Is this interesting? Because podcasts can be packaged and branded in many forms, but are the words that are saying really interesting? I've seen many podcasts, and even the snippets to me aren't interesting. We yammer on and on an hour a week. Is it interesting?
That's irrelevant. You can't.
I don't know, maybe to some people.
That's
To the people that watch us.
subjective.
Or to
Yeah,
people
there's
that
not
listen.
many people that follow
People
our
that listen.
podcast, so I would say that it's not that interesting.
Okay. I was hoping that you would pump me up
Yeah.
and say something different.
We
Be
get it
like,
up.
no,
We
the
get it up.
metrics say we are very interested.
I listen to it every week or whenever we do it. I think
Yeah, when you're editing it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I would not.
I'm paid to be here. What's cool is like what I do think is fun that we do. Especially right now when the show's coming up. There's stuff that's not either it's not announced fully or it's inside baseball or whatever. There's stuff that you can find here. It's like, go to Coach Hansky's. Is there a Coach Hansky's poster out?
Yes, it's
Oh,
not
there you
out
go.
yet, but it's.
Well, there you
Oh, there's
go.
a poster
done.
for Coach Hansky's this year?
Yeah.
Okay, well then shit.
Well,
Anyway.
that's what I wanted to
There
go
was
through
one
today.
last year
Yeah.
too, Scott.
Okay.
There was?
Yeah.
So,
Did it see the light of day?
Yeah.
All right, well, it's a
It's a thing.
garden hose with a fire hose worth of water trying to come out of it.
Yeah.
it's a garden hose with a fire of information of
Oh, I
places
get
to
it.
do.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
It's
Here.
it's
There's
a
a
20.
the poster.
Oh, nice. Coach Hansky's, for the folks at home, is this great kind of unknown polka party that it's like It's our happy hour on Saturday. We leave the
7,
venue.
8-ish, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like 5. It's like 5 to 7.
No.
We leave to go to the.
I've never
we
left
leave,
at 5.
No, we leave the venue at 5 to
I've
go to
never left at
Kochanski's,
5.
and then we
You
go.
might
And then
leave
we
at
go to. I do. And then we go to the after party.
Yeah.
At 8.
No. It's shifted like 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah. 7. I probably get there at 7, and then to the after party at 9.
No, that's not true.
With the after party at Iron
Because I know that we start talking about wrangling people at 4. It doesn't take 3 hours to. Well,
you ever met anyone?
That's true. We need to find someone with a van that
It's
20 people
always,
can also.
It's
can fit
always
into.
dark, so
Yeah.
that's at least 5:36.
I usually target to start getting out of the rave at 6. And that's when I start thinking about leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And then I usually leave like around, I'd say if I'm out of there by 7, that's pretty good. And then I get to Kochanski's 7:15, 7:30. And then I'm there till about 9, 10, and then go to Iron Horse. That's been my past 5 years.
All right. Well, I'll buy that. I'll buy it. Okay.
4
Now that you
years.
guys explained that timeline. Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
Well,
polka
this-
bar, polka music. It's a
great.
taste of Milwaukee.
Taste of
Yeah.
a very authentic taste of Milwaukee.
If you were to go to a city and see a hallmark of what it is, if you wanted to go to Seattle, you got to see the tower. Or
Yeah, and it's
Paris.
it's like it doesn't really make sense for us. Like, what? We're like leaving.
Why would we leave the venue?
Yeah.
Which is everyone. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, and I was talking to Tor about that. He's like, "That's the coolest thing I've ever seen." I'm like, "Well, like I have to do that. I can't stand there all day and like freak out about shit. Team's got it. The party's rolling.
Yeah.
Away we go.
And everybody needs a change of scenery and a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Well, what's great too is like our thing is like it's at the rave and then it's at Iron Horse. At least there's those 2 places that day to go get to. And then, Friday's at Boone and Crockett. So you have to go to Flat Out Friday, then you have to go to Boone and Crockett. There's all these things that gets people to go from one to the other. So no one, I think, feels stale on anything,
And there's a lot of like shed that comes from that, right? Like there's a lot of people in the city. Not everybody's going to Boone. Not everybody's going to Kochanski's in the city because the city like grabs and takes hold, and you get lost in Milwaukee, and before you know it, it's Monday.
And every single party is a banger.
Yeah,
That's true.
Like every single one of them there's no like, I've never heard of anyone trying to throw like, even if they throw an unofficial after party in someone's like garage, it's always like, oh my God, we had 150 people. It's just every single one of them.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to go through our 6-day event.
all right, means I can leave, right?
Yeah, six-day event. What do you think about
It's 6
that?
days now.
Well, okay. All right, we're staying too long. Let's focus. We have a 6-day event coming up. We have a 6-day festival
All right.
coming up, and it starts on Tuesday. I gotta put the dates on here. Okay, our 6-day festival starts on the 18th of February.
Yeah.
It's in 1 week.
Dude, it's a week from now?
Yes. And so on Tuesday, Promises can no longer hold the world's smallest mini bike race, so we're moving it to Cooperage. You may have been to Cooperage. It's part of Boone and Crockett.
That's where the Flat Out Friday after party has traditionally been.
Correct. But on Tuesday, they're opening up their banquet hall, and we're going to put a mini bike race on there.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
If anyone was here in 2020, when the show when the COVID cancellation happened, we had an outdoor. They totally helped us out, and we did an outdoor festival outside of Cooperage. So if anyone remembers that.
Yep. So it's Cooperage and Boone are right in the same location. Inside, we're having a mini bike race, the world's smallest mini bike race. It's free to enter. 18 and up, please. If you're riding a mini bike, 21 and up. Of course, if you're drinking, the flyer is not so great. I have to say, I reached out to him and I said, I want a flyer that's going to really grab people and bring them in to start our fest on Tuesday.
Okay. And
we're waiting for a response. So why has no one announced that? Why? That's Jeremy. Why didn't you tell me about that? Well, I'm telling you right now that the indoor Boonie race is on Tuesday the 18th.
Cool. That'll be fun.
We'll follow our social media. There's not, what are the details? Tuesday at Cooperage. Okay.
7-ish.
Yeah. In the evening.
If you're racing, probably come a little earlier.
Yeah. Good. Those are both important details, I suppose, Scott. But yes, it's at Cooperage. Bring your mini bike. It's free and you got to be 18. Those are the details. Then on Wednesday, what I would like people to do, this is a strong ask, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Scott, there's many things to do in the city besides us. I'd like to fill that on a Wednesday morning. I'd like you to come into the city. You get the Miller Tour, Brewery Tour, I think is impressive in its scale.
The Milwaukee Public Museum,
The Milwaukee Public Museum
which is not long for the world in its current form. They're redoing it, but I think it's closes pretty soon to start moving everything over to the new building, and it's really cool.
I'm not going to say the Harley-Davidson Museum because I wanted to save that till Thursday, and I'll explain why. But there's many things to do, including you can take a Harley manufacturing tour too.
Yeah. I think those don't start till Thursday though also, right? Or they start early on Wednesday.
Damn. I wish I would have known in our final part, but
check on their website.
But at night we have I want an adjective here, Scott. How would we describe Elwood's event? It's nostalgic.
It's a banger of a kickoff. I mean, the Promises Party was a really banger of a kickoff for the kickoff, kickoff. But I feel like the Elwood's Party is man, it's just grown over the years, and the racing's awesome, and it's a hell of a party. I want to get a tattoo there. Everybody gets tattooed there. And I want to get tattooed.
Nate will appreciate that at Elwood's. Elwood's on Water Street. So if you're coming in from out of town and you're wondering why this would be special, well, it's special because of the energy we create in doing a great mini bike race in their parking lot. It's a wonderful bar. We have a great thrash metal band that's going to play Force. But why it's great is it's in the center of our tourist bar district.
Yeah.
So imagine doing this if you were on Broadway in Nashville or Beale Street in Memphis or Bourbon Street in New Orleans, or every town has West Street. Ours is Water Street, and we're taking it over. That's why this is so powerful.
Yeah, it's a good time. Also 6-ish, 7-ish,
7-ish.
Yeah,
free to race, 18 and up, please, and protect yourself at all times.
Is Micah doing the play-by-play?
Micah from Nitro Circus will be our announcer at the Wednesday event. We're not going to have an announcer on Tuesday because we're going to have a band. It's a half mosh pit, half race.
Oh, nice.
Come check that out.
What's the band on Tuesday?
Tuesday, I don't know the band.
Okay.
It's a secret.
All right.
But Wednesday, it's Force.
Force. Sweet. Is that the band that played at...
That's the band that played at Promises last year.
They're a rip. They rip. Yeah. I like them.
Someday they'll be on Saturday.
Someday they'll make it. Okay, Thursday, to fill your time during the day, I would recommend the Harley-Davidson Museum. If you are a racer, a builder, you're free to check out the Harley-Davidson Museum all day that day. I recommend the Harley-Davidson Museum because the Mama Tried Flat Out Friday will be coming down very shortly. So it's your last time to see us in the Harley-Davidson Museum.
Exhibition. There's a Mama Tried and Flat Out Friday exhibition that has been in the Harley-Davidson Museum for the last year and a half, 2 years. Pretty cool. But it is coming down after this.
It's really cool, and I'm really proud to have ever been a part of that.
Me too.
And the longer it goes and the more people hear that they saw it, I'm more and more proud of. Finally, I did something with my life. I was in the Harley-Davidson Museum.
Yep. That's quite an achievement.
Yeah. It is quite an achievement. I am not disrespecting it at all.
No.
But Thursday evening, then, now things start to get convoluted in that there's so much going on.
Yes.
Okay, I want to give you the official things. And I'm not going to give anything unofficial because I want you to find it. And it's not hard to find. You can hashtag our name of some sorts, Mama Tried, Flat Out Friday. All roads lead to party. But I just want to stay focused on just the original stuff, on the official stuff. Is that fair? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, just to keep it small and tight and concise. Because it is overwhelming how many things that are going on. So on Thursday, we are having a race at the Harley-Davidson Museum.
That's
it is
our traditional pre-party.
Yes. A race, I think we got to be out of there by 9.
So it starts at 5, right? That's when it
Yes.
starts a little bit earlier.
It starts at 5. They're showing the Dirt. Oh my God, Angels of Dirt.
Angels of Dirt.
The movie about Charlotte Keynes, the documentary about Charlotte Keynes. That starts at 5. It's free.
It's free. And that's at 5?
Correct.
Okay, that'll be cool.
Yes. 6 o'clock-ish, we'll have a mini bike race. And if you can show, please, I'm asking you to, not only do you get into the museum for free, you can show your race motorcycle. If you work it out with Scott getting into Mama Tried, you can show your show bike there. And to have your bike at the Harley Museum in the show space. Now, not inside, but in the show space outside, if that's how I can describe it.
Like if you were there for the 120th, they have like the courtyard area space, right? Like in front of the museum entrance, we do like a little mini show.
Mm-hmm. Bring your bike out, any make, any model, and I think taking your picture there by the guy has a name. Doesn't matter. Taking your picture of your motorcycle with you on it in the courtyard, I think, is very special, and I want you to take advantage of that. That's on the 20th, on Thursday. After that, now traditionally we sent people to Fuel. Fuel was officially our after party. I think the jury's still out, I think they took a beating last year, and they're still waiting to see, do I even want to dip my toes in this?
Yeah, we're trying to see if we can get that fire alarm back working again.
If anybody is an official party with us, it's a blessing and a curse.
Yes. Yeah.
Blood will be spilt. Blood will be demanded if you have official on your title. But so I don't know what Fuel is. Do you know about anything else that might be official that night, Scott, on Thursday night?
Yeah, I think that the Hi-Hat and Garage are picking up the Warhammer.
Okay.
So, and that's on Brady Street.
Burnouts on the garage bar.
Okay, well.
Oh, well,
That's
we don't know that for sure. But like Jeremy said, blood will be demanded. Blood will be spilled.
I'm going to see Scott's severed head like they're carrying him by his hair. His glasses are still on. The crowd has been appeased.
It's on fire. This is burning. People just doing burnouts in the street. And yeah.
And if you don't know it, so if you're coming to Milwaukee and you don't know where the Hi-Hat is, when you see the Harley 120th, I don't know what
all those parties.
All those
95th
parties.
95th through the 120th.
We're at the Hi-Hat. All those burnout spots, all that
on Brady
action
Street
is right in front of the Hi-Hat garage.
Brady Street is another district, sort of bar district, not unlike Water Street, where Elmwoods is.
Yeah.
So it's.
So we're officially announcing that's an official party.
Yes.
Yes.
So that is right after the museum.
Yep.
Pre-party.
Brady Street is great. Uber there. A lot of great restaurants.
Yeah. Tougher to park there. But a good time. Yeah.
All right. Friday, the 21st. So I just want to talk to racers just real quick. Our pit doors open at 9 to bring your motorcycle inside the Fiserv. You have to expect airport security. And I realize
airport level security. I realize the contradiction that everything in your toolbox could be a weapon, but we still have to go through a metal detector with it anyway. They're going to look inside your toolbox. You got to pay a pit fee, and you can bring your motorcycle inside. If you leave outside the secured area, you have to go through the airport security. Although the secured area is rather large, there's space for you to start your motorcycle. There's space for you to take your motorcycle outside and fire it up. But just be conscious and prepared for airport level security. Yes. I think everyone's pretty used to it by now,
yes.
But for anyone who hasn't been through it before,
it's just it's a little jarring.
Yeah.
To think you're going to come to a flat track race and everyone's going to know who you are, and they roll out the red carpet like they do at local flat track outdoor events. They don't care who you are.
No.
And they're there to do their protocol of checking your stuff.
Yeah. It's a major league NBA venue.
Mm-hmm.
So it has different requirements than an auditorium or an outdoor race.
Okay, so the biggest question now, not only getting in, I'm going to zoom back, and that's parking. So we do have an area for parking. I want it to be for trucks or trailers only. A space for just trailers and trailers only. Trucks with trailers only.
Right.
Or oversized vehicles that cannot park any other space. I want to reserve our small reserved parking for them. If you are in a van, a pickup truck, your girlfriend is racing and you drove a car, I don't want those spots taking up our limited space. You're going to have to find other parking.
Mm-hmm. Which there's plenty of.
There's plenty of parking, and it's very reasonable that time of day.
Especially during the day in that part of downtown. Yep.
Okay. Now tickets. This is the biggest question for people, for first timers. Now you buy your pit pass that gets you into the pits, and you can even go up into the bowl and watch the show. But you do not have a ticket. You do not have a seat if you do not buy a ticket. So if you would like a ticket, or you would like your family and friends to see you race, have them buy a ticket, and those links are on our website. It doesn't make sense for you to take in 5, 6, 7 people to see you race. If you bring in that many people, they probably won't even be able to see you race because it's so crowded in the pits. I ask that you only take 2 people with you. So 3 per team inside of the pits. Please send everyone else to go buy tickets. You can buy very reasonable tickets that circumvent fees on our website.
You did not just say that out loud, but
I did not say that out loud. They circumvent expensive ticket fees. They do. I didn't even say a name brand. I didn't say anything.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Are we shooting ourselves? Whatever.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm taking the piss a little bit.
I want to.
It's a gray area.
I want another question that I get. Okay, just real quick. There's a little bit of a problem, of a nuance that I think it needs explaining. If you are racing and your pit person, your wife, your girlfriend, your significant other, your mechanic can't get there till later, we ask that you pay. You pay when you come. We write their name on a list, and they can come whenever.
For the pit pass.
For the pit pass. We cannot sell pit passes after noon. Okay, so if they expect to show up at 7, 8, and you just want to buy a pit pass and come in through the door, that can't happen.
That's a new thing this year.
No, it's
Really?
always been the way.
Really?
Our agreement with Ticketmaster is we cannot circumvent them past noon.
Got you.
That's a negotiated
Fair.
point.
Yeah.
We take the cash out, the change, and we change our staff over. There's no cash accepted after noon. Okay. If you are in the media, a lot of people in the media. A lot of people in the media. Everybody's in the media.
Not in the media a lot of times the rest of the year, but they are.
But suddenly
that
they're in the
weekend.
media and they want a media pass. Correct me if I'm wrong, Scott. You create some guardrails for me. Listen, we have paid social media people on our team.
Mhm.
Why would I need you as a hobby photographer to take photos that you may or may not give to me? And that's how it's been. We let people in to take photos. They're not good quality, and they're there just to brag that they've been in the center of the ring.
Mhm.
This is something that's really special for people that are high quality photographers, people we have a relationship with, or we would like to have a relationship with because we believe in their quality of work.
Exactly.
And again, we have a team of photographers that we already pay,
Full-time staff.
of which we expect a high quality of stuff. So
Exactly.
we don't give these passes out easily, right? So don't be.
But that's not to say if someone doesn't have an outlet to work for and they think they have cool stuff, like at least reach out.
Yeah, let us know.
Yes.
On our website, there's a press tab. You can apply for a pass, and you'll be vetted. And
Send your portfolio. 'Cause, like,
Yeah.
the thing is, like, there's lots of young people but my thing is, like, just look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself.
yeah, because getting in for free to stuff in the Midwest seems to be a competition sport. Like to see, it's a kind of thing that
Yeah.
people just love to. They love to get in for free and to tell all their friends about it.
Yes.
So this is what we're up against, and we take a lot of risks financially doing this, and so we need people to actually buy tickets to support it, and that's just the way it is. We would love to do it for free and let everyone in for free, but it just doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm. I tell security, every arena we've been in, every time we've ever done an event, our patrons have 2 hobbies: motorcycles and getting in for free.
Well, and people without outlets also have to pay a pit fee. Right?
Okay, yes. So now if you don't qualify, all you're not getting, you can still get track access. We're just going to charge you a pit pass.
Pit pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this will be explained to you in the email that you will be sent once you sign up to be a media member. We'll explain you how this works. Okay, so Flat Out Friday will happen. I want to just do a couple points, and that is the way this show is designed, is that everybody that has signed up for the race races after 7. There's racing all day. There's practice. There's heat races, but everybody will have a chance to be in front of the crowd at least once. So that's why the semi races or the last chance qualifiers are after the national anthem. We could make this event bigger. We could have more participants. I'm telling you, we could have easily 400 racers in certain classes that I've cut off if we didn't allow them to race in front of the crowd.
Right.
If I did Win Your Heat and you go to the main and everybody else goes home, but this show is not designed that way. I do have the racer in mind to be on our platform.
Right. To be on track in front of an audience, in front of the cameras.
Yes. And I want to highlight that's what makes Flat Out Friday special. There are 100 wonderful, great outdoor half miles and dirt tracks you can race all around the country.
And indoors.
And indoors. And there's a lot of great indoor races. But we are dead on track for ticket sales as we were last year. Like to the dozen.
That's great.
So,
appreciate
we've
that.
announced 10 almost every year. We had a little bit less in 2021 post-COVID, but we've listed 10 as our attendance in every time. So that's what makes Flat Out Friday special. I'm talking to the racers. I got one more thing to the racers, and that is we have 2 official hotels that you can park at. We have the Four Seasons near the airport, free trailer parking.
Big parking lots, lots of space.
Big parking lot down by the airport, a little bit more of a secure space. If you're freaked out about your truck or van or trailer getting messed with, I would suggest staying down by the airport.
And then Ubering up for all the parties and the events.
You're never 20 minutes further.
It's not that far away. It's not like Denver. You're really close. 15 minutes.
And that's $100, something like that. $100.
Yeah, the rooms are really inexpensive
Yes.
too.
True by Hilton is our downtown sponsor hotel. I think it's $104.
Wow. Good deal.
So those links are on our site. Please use our links only. If you call or do any other way, you're not going to get the deal. So look for the links on. I know it's on our link tree.
On our social media.
Please check out those 2 hotels. Again, if you have a trailer, please go to the south side near the airport. And if you do not have a trailer and you want to just still be downtown in the action, try the True Hilton and use our links for both of those. Okay, after Friday, we have one official party, many unofficial parties. The official party will be at the Cooperage again, the same place where we had the Tuesday race. They have the Boone and Crockett, and then next door they have the Cooperage. They have 2 official parties. And I have seen some flyers, and they defy my brain capacity for what's going on. Did you see this?
No.
The spaghetti wrestling and the country western music fest.
Is this Joey's
Yes.
fever dream?
Yes, and it's a fever dream of a party.
I love it.
Check it out. I think there's tickets on that you would need to buy. They can't be that much to see a spaghetti race in a country music fest. But
Spaghetti rest.
Yeah, and there's animal races as well.
and there's animal
races, spaghetti wrestling, and a country music act.
Yes.
Acts, many acts.
Many acts.
Yeah, 4 bands. Bronco, Lady Bird, Justin White, 3 bands.
Wow.
Justin White trio.
Sweet.
Okay, so on Friday after the race, go to the Cooperage and check out this party. That's the official, my official announcement.
Flat Out Friday after party.
Flat Out Friday
Official
after party.
party.
Yes. There are many others, and anything that suits your flavor, you can find those. It's not hard. Okay, Saturday, the Mama Tried show opens at 10.
Yep.
Always a little bit of a line to get in there right away, and
Get your tickets ahead of time, I would suggest.
unless
It's a lot easier to get in because there's a line and it's cold outside and
it's going to be cold, and
Yeah.
there's a security check, and it takes a little time for that first rush to get in.
Yep.
Go online and you get your ticket on your phone, and boom, you're right to the front.
Yep, exactly.
10 to 10 is the show.
10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Scott, is there anything, your elevator pitch sale, or why anybody would want to come to Milwaukee and see motorcycles?
It's a family-friendly event. Bring the kids. They have a great time. Lots of vendors, food trucks, tattooers, great music by DJ Merritt. It's a Proc family affair running the music, which is always really great. Yeah, we're sold out of vendor space, so we are packed for vendors this year, and we've got really amazing motorcycles.
Mhm.
So if you like motorcycles and you like being around motorcycle people, this is for you.
I want to highlight something about the Saturday show. I love the motorcycles are great. There's no doubt, but that energy of Saturday
Yeah,
is unique to any show I've ever been at.
yeah,
There's a frequency in that room, and everybody is tuned to the same.
yeah.
And-
I still get chills walking up the stairs finding your way through the maze that is the Eagles Club and walking up those couple sets of stairs and then getting up to the ballroom, and then the whole thing opens up, and it's just it's really a sight to see. The room is cool and the vibe is great and all the bikes in there, and it's just, like an art show, and I love it. I really, really love it.
If you want to come look at motorcycles, Saturday is maybe not your thing per se. I mean, if you're really going to get into the nuances of things,
do not come between 11 and 4 o'clock. I guess I would say come early, come late, not late, but like even after 5 o'clock, it chills out. And but between 11 and 4, it's max capacity, and you'll see the bikes, but you'll also run into 100 people that and it's a social event. It's a lot more socializing, and it's great. The vibe is incredible, and but yeah, if you're there to look at bikes, Saturday night is a little bit more chill. Sunday morning is really the bomb. Sunday morning, it opens at 10. It goes from 10 to 3 on Sundays. Sunday morning's like church. It's like the vibe is different, right? We've ripped through all week. We've drank the beers. We've smoked the cigarettes. We've adiosed our pantalones. But Sunday morning is just like a little bit like, all right, let's take it down a notch and just walk around. The vibe is really great. The music's chill. The sunlight's coming in through those south windows in the ballroom, and it just hits the floor, and everything's just, I don't know, it's beautiful. Sunday morning is my favorite time of the weekend. And that's when there's like lots of time to like everyone's it's just a slower vibe, and you get to see a lot less people, and you get to really look at the motorcycles and get your photographs. That's the other thing. If you're a photographer, or even if you just like to take a lot of pictures of bikes like I do, things that you notice, Sunday's a lot better for that because there's just not as many people standing in your frame.
I want to go back to Saturday, though, Scott. Not only is the show 10 to 10, there is the happy hour that we mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
We go to Kochanski's.
Yeah.
Why do we go to Kochanski's? Because it's quintessential Milwaukee.
Kochanski's Concertina Bar. It is a polka bar, old school polka bar that's been there forever. And it is just a slice of Midwest authenticity. And they have pierogies.
When you go to Daytona, you got to see the beach. When you go to Sturgis, you got to see, what do you got to see?
The Full Throttle Saloon.
Full Throttle Saloon and the Badlands.
Right.
And when you come to Milwaukee, you got to see Kochanski's
Concertina Bar, yeah.
Concertina
and the
Bar.
Milwaukee Public Museum.
Okay, now after that, we generally...
So we're still on Saturday night.
We're still on Saturday night.
Kochanski's is 5 to 8, 5 to 9.
Yeah. You can't end a party, Scott.
No.
You can't end a party. I do know that another official party begins at the Iron Horse Hotel. And the Iron Horse Hotel, by the way, has always been our official title sponsor, if you will. Not title sponsor, but our
official hotel.
Our official hotel. But it always sells out.
Yeah.
So we still work the crowd or work the neighborhood to try to find you a hotel deal. Those hotel deals we've already mentioned. There might be a room or two at the Iron Horse. I'm not sure. Reach out to them. And maybe they have a broom closet where they keep the old fryer grease.
And they'll put you up in there. They'll put your cot in there. Yeah.
We have a Saturday party. We don't really curate that as much as we do. The Iron Horse does, and they do a great job curating parties, finding unique ways to use their space. Every year it's different. Come check out the Iron Horse after party.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good time.
Many other after parties you can go to on Saturday. They're all going to be wonderful, but we will be at the official one at the Iron Horse Hotel. Saturday, Scott mentioned that the show is 10 to 3. And then there's talk of ice racing. And I think that this year might be the first time we may be able to pull this off. And I don't mean we, meaning us proper. I mean the community of Milwaukee is looking forward to this. Flat Out Friday, Jeremy Mama Tried is not running a race on Slippery Sunday. No. There is a Slippery Sunday that the city of Milwaukee is going to put on for you. Is that a fair way to say this?
Yeah. Not the city with a big C.
The city with a small C. Yes. The people.
The people of Milwaukee.
The riding community in Milwaukee wants to show riding in the marina to the world.
Yep.
And we want it to happen. Right now, it's open water. The 40 degrees last week killed it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That quickly?
But that quickly, we're in the 20s. We're never above freezing till our event.
Right.
Okay,
So there will be ice.
Well,
Yeah.
how much ice
How
we
much
don't
ice,
know.
Yeah.
I can say this though, there will be riding. There will be ice riding, but it may not be in the city of Milwaukee.
Right.
There may be a little bit of travel. I tell you that now, and why I was so excited to get this podcast going. If you are planning to come to Milwaukee and you're on the fence about your ice bike, I'm saying bring it. I'm not alone in that.
Right. And there will be word on social media on where to ride if not at McKinley Marina. McKinley Marina is the what we're talking about. That is the big downtown marina, and that's, you've maybe seen online some drone footage of a big road course that they built out there this year. That's where we're hoping that the event will take place. It's not a sign up race. It's a just show and go, and if it's not happening there, it'll be social media. We'll get the word out somehow where everyone's riding.
Yeah.
And that might be disparate. That might be, not just one spot, but 5 different spots. But as soon as we get notice of that, we'll let everyone know.
Mm-hmm. And it may be last minute, but I'm predicting, sit tight, there will be riding.
Yeah.
We've had much warmer weeks and people found
Mm-hmm.
found ice riding.
I don't know why, is it Lily Lake in Kenosha? That's the one that comes to mind that we've ridden there before.
There is a Lily Lake.
Is that the
There's
one?
many that I've just forgot the name. Since they have opened up the marina or do that, that's, to me, I never really want to go anywhere else.
Yeah, because there's no neighbor complaints at that one.
That is correct. There are no neighbor complaints. There's also no ambulance and no safety gear, and there's no flag man, and there's no insurance. So everything is on your own.
There's no grandstands or admission.
But a photo of you riding in downtown Milwaukee in the marina will be special. So bring those ice bikes. Yes. And then Sunday, there's a lot of, it's a gray area riding motorcycles on water.
Right.
It's a very gray area. I feel, though, the Milwaukee knows the rules, and this isn't as guerrilla as we might think. The rules are actually on our side.
Right.
On riding on the marina.
Yeah.
So I'm confident.
Well, and I think the new thing in the last couple of years is the harbor master and all the staff and the Milwaukee Police Department have been made aware that where everybody's cool. They keep the motorcycles away from the ice fishermen, so they have their thing and we can do our thing, and everybody's cool. So, and that's new the last couple of years. It's taken about a decade to work out. So,
well, but it works out in Milwaukee because we are cool. We don't have that. I mean, you know what I mean? There's in Vegas, I'm shocked at how much people are not cool. And not that the show or anybody was affiliated was not cool, just the general people in the airport and the feeling of Nevada itself.
Right.
Just is not the Midwest friendly vibe that we have here in the city.
Midwest
nice.
Yes.
Okay, how did I do, Brian? Did I summarize our events?
That is everything that I think that everyone should know about off top, but there are more things they can find.
You can always email me with direct questions. I ask you, give me, I can't take questions the day of. I get a lot of this. Where do I park? And it's Friday morning at 7:30. If you have questions or anxieties, you got to get those to me right now. A lot of questions. And on that, we're going to end it up. So while we're titling this Mama Tried Vegas Review.
This is now
in review.
This is the PSA section.
This is the PSA section.
All right. Clap
See
it
you
up.
in Milwaukee.
Thanks, everybody.
18.
Thanks,